What's up, guys? This is Jay. I decided to make a video where I rate the ratings of the martial artist classes. I thought this could be a good content for YouTube since, yeah, I'm just making this video because I thought this could be a good content for YouTube. So, let's start with Scrapper. Let's start with Scrapper. Hi. I'll give four. No, actually, I'll give 5 stars. 5 stars, 5 out of 5. This is like a recommendation list, guys. Thai has good, very nice, very good damage. Probably like, let's say, if I were to rate the classes between first tier to like to third tier, I would say it's like 1.5 tier. Probably like 1.5 tier DMG. So it's got decent damage and 5 hard breaking kills. And also very nice stagger as well. And you can get extra amount of stagger if you pop your identity, but you don't usually pop your identity in order to do more stagger, but when you do Thermine raid or full this, you can do your damage while doing this when you have to do the stagger mech at the same time. So in that kind of circumstances, this becomes a good advantage as well. So it's very nice in terms of mechanics. And one more thing is that it also has good defense. So for people who are like new to Lost Ark, we're not used to the game yet, this is a class that I can very easily recommend because it's got everything: damage, good mechanics, and good defense as well, which means you don't die well during the raid. One downside though is that it has very short range. So you get to miss your skills a lot, and in certain circumstances, you cannot hit the balls because you have to dodge some AoE patterns or stuff like that. But overall, Tie Scrapper is very nice, easy to play, and yet good damage and mechanic friendly. Very nice. So I'll give it 5. I'll give it 5 stars out of 5. And Shock, I'll give 2 out of 5 because it does have higher damage ceiling than Tai, that's for sure, but it's very uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable as fuck. It's easier to it's easier to do damage with Tai, and Tai is just way less stressful. Personally, I don't think there is a specific reason to play Shock over other classes. So I'll just give it 2 out of 5. But if you really want to play Scrapper, but if you want to see like higher numbers, then play Shock. But I don't really recommend it. And Glavier. Let's start with Pinnacle. I'll give it 4 out of 5. It was nerfed recently, so its damage isn't same as before, where you were doing tons of damage before the balance patch. So it's definitely not I wouldn't say it's like first tier DPS nowadays, but it has very nice utilities. Utilities. So if you want to play a martial artist class, well, that the fights with a spear, glaive, whatever it's called, go for it. This is a very nice class. And it also has a decent stagger and part break too, so this is a good class. Definitely a good class. And control, I'll give it 1 out of 5. There is just no reason. I'm sorry if there's any control mains watching this video. I'm sorry, but there is actually just no reason to play this class engraving. There's just no reason to play this class engraving. I cannot find any. I cannot find a single reason to play this class. You know, back in the days when Glavier's synergy was different, where it gave you 18% crit increase. There was a reason to play control because since you go full swiftness with control Glavier, you get to use your synergy skill more. So you were able to provide 18% crit synergy more often to yourself and your teammates. So that was actually a good advantage. But now that it has changed, I don't think now that Glavier's synergy changed, I don't think there is no reason. I don't think there's any reason to play this class. If there's anyone who's like too lazy to press Z or X to swap your weapon, then you can play control. But overall, Tai is just better than overall Tai and Wardencer. Just better. Just better. So there's just no reason to play control whatsoever. I don't recommend this class engraving to anyone. Don't play it. If you were to play Glavier, play Pinnacle. And Soul Fist. I'm gonna give 1 out of 5 to both class engravings because due to some reasons. Because first thing is that I don't know how things are like in NAEU server, but in Korea, Soul Fist is one of the least played classes. And that means you have less supplies with the class engraving accessories, which makes them very, very expensive. So expensive. When you're new to the game, you don't have when you don't have a lot of gold. Buying all those accessories and cutting your stone is too much gold, right? It's way too expensive for a newbie to afford. But if you play a class with not a lot of population, then everything becomes so expensive. And tripods, accessories, all that kind of things become so expensive. So for a new player who just entered to Lost Ark, you really shouldn't play this class. It doesn't matter which engraving. And not a recommended class. And then, wait, who do we have left? Oh, Wardencer. I'll give... I'll give 4 out of 5. First intention. Easy to play. Easy to play and a very nice synergy. Since you go full swiftness with first intention, you get to provide your synergy more often, so it's very nice. And then, full swiftness means it's easier to dodge patterns, right? and your overall gameplay becomes more fun. So First Intention Wardencer is a very good class to play. But if you wanna do more damage, you should play Esoteric. This is the spec variation of Wardencer. Esoteric. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I haven't really met a lot of Esoteric Wardencers vaulting raids. But as far as I know, they are really strong these days. In my opinion, as far as I know, I think they are definitely first tier DPS. Because if you I haven't really met a lot of them, but if I see one, they usually get crew fighters. So Esoteric is definitely one of the strongest these days. Stagger isn't very good because Esoteric Stagger has been nerfed in the last balance patch, so Stagger isn't really at a good state. And it's too dependent on your self buff skills. But other than that, yeah, I think Esoteric has like no downsides. But usually spec classes has like up to like that amount downsides overall, so Esoteric is definitely a 5/5, I'll say. And Breaker. You guys don't have this class yet in NAU, but I thought it would be fun to add this class as well. Let's start with Sura. Definitely 5 out of 5. This actually could be different once the class gets to NAU. Since it could be you guys could be getting the nerf version of it. So, but right now in KR, Sura is definitely a 5 out of 5. In terms of fun, it's 110 out of 100. It's very fun. You know, all that identity punching time is just way too enjoyable. It's just I think it's one of the most fun classes I have tried in this game. It's really fun. And in terms of damage, it's OP. Currently it's OP. It's just unbalanced right now. I don't know why, but like lately all the classes Smallgate has been making are just OP. Like back in the days when like Gunslinger and like Scouter, those classes were updated. Like they weren't like they weren't launched as OP classes. But nowadays they're making new classes as OP as fuck, man. Its damage is OP. Only downside is that it's head attack. It is head attack. Other than that, it's all good. All good. Difficulty isn't that hard because all you have to do is to focus on your identity skill. Because I think it covers like up to 50 to 55% of your total damage portion. So if you just focus on landing your identity skill on boss's head, then you don't actually lose a lot of damage, so its difficulty isn't that hard as people think it is. And also, in terms of mechanics, it's also good. Why? Because it's got like 4 part breaking skills, and its stagger is also high, and all your skills has, not all of them, but all the skills you use has head attack. And head attack gives you extra amount of stagger if you land head attacks. So in terms of stagger, it's also good. So there is just no reason not to play Sura. It's easy, fun, damage is OP, all good. All good. But one thing is, it's kinda, sometimes it's hard to remember your rotation. What I mean by your rotation is that you don't actually have a rotation, but you have to use your yellow skill and a green skill in order to get to fill your identity meter. But sometimes when you're doing your raid, it's hard to remember if you use your yellow or green. So sometimes you use 2 yellows in a row, 2 greens in a row, and then and end up slowly filling your identity meter. But this isn't a huge. This is not a huge downside though, because if you get used to it, then it won't be a big problem. And the other engraving, the spec one. I forgot. I forgot what it's called in English. What's it called? I'll just translate it myself. Fist King. Also 5 out of 5. Again, since this is a new class engraving. It's OP as fuck too. Oh, I don't want the yellow mark on my YouTube. OP as X. That's where damage definitely first tier. Holy shit. It's also first tier DPS, guys. Since this is also a new class and a new class engraving, its damage is just unbelievable level. And also another thing is that its difficulty isn't that hard either because this is not entropy. Since it's not entropy, you will have way better DPS angle than entropy classes, and yet it has like higher DPS damage ceiling than the most of the classes in this game. So it's just broken as fuck, guys. It's just broken as fuck. And also in terms of mechanics, it's also decent. I mean, it's got decent stagger, it's got decent part break, so it's okay. But as far as I know, its counter skill isn't really great, you know, because the thing about Breaker is that your counter and your synergy skill, it's like Predator Slayer. They're all in one. So unlike Sura, where you take both the synergy and the counter, where therefore you have 2 counter skills and 2 synergies, Fist King cannot do that. So you will have to use your counter and your synergy all at the same time. So other than not a good counter, not having a good counter, everything else is good. But counter itself is a good skill. Its counter is it's good. But only downside is that it's your synergy and your counter at the same time. That's the only problem. Other than that, there is no reason not to play this class. It's OP as fuck. Alright, I hope the video was informative and helpful. If you guys have any questions, come to my Twitch stream and ask me questions. I'll be there to answer the questions you guys have. And thank you so much for watching the video. Hope you guys all have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Probably on the next video, I'll talk about... Yeah, let's talk about mage classes next time. Alright, have a good day, everyone.